5-second board is shown. The anticipation mounts here for the second BMW Car Club Racing Championship race of the day. And the lights go out and away they go. Paul Cook makes the best of the starts there. Not such a good start from Wayne Lewis, but I think he's just about going to hold on to second position. It's the 76 car of Stuart Pywell that's there in third place as they go through Old Hall Corner for the first time. Looks like they've all made it through more or less safely there and heading down towards Cascades for the first time. And it is indeed Paul Cook that leads. Got about 6 or 7 car lengths over Wayne Lewis in second place as they make their way off Cascades, down past the lake and in towards the Island Bend for the first time.
Great start made by David Aspden in the Gulf liveried Z3. He's up from 8th to I think 5th as they arrived down Island Bend for the first time. So he was away like a rocket, found a gap on the outside, and there he goes through Shell, definitely having gained a number of positions as they round the right-hander, the banked right-hander at the Shell hairpin. Through come some of the midfielders, and a couple trying to dig their way through from the back as well, all cleanly through the first couple of corners and towards the Britain's chicane, and watching for some of those coming from the back. I think a few of them, Ian, making some pretty good progress.
Yeah, absolutely. Some cars out of position, including Andy Phillips there in the treble 8 car. He was someone who didn't make it to the end of the first race. He just sort of pulled into the pit lane entrance just as the checker flag was coming out, didn't he, in the earlier race? So he had some very late drama in that one, but he's made up several places already here. We'll see where he is as we get towards the end of the first lap. It looks like the two Cup class leaders possibly are together there as well, in the form of Gareth Thomas and Will Lake, renewing their rivalry. We'll see how that battle shapes up. Through Druids they go then for the first time. You've got the Sean Foley car going through, number 71, the M3 GTR, and we've got cars coming through to complete the first lap already. Paul Cook it is, leading Wayne Lewis by 1.3 seconds, but we're watching Paul Laramie, and he's just tucked in behind the number 67 car of Adrian Williams, the man from Cambridge who we're hearing from with Kieran just before the start of the race, and they are battling over the final positions inside the top 10. They're 9th and 10th at the moment. We go on board with Steve Schweikart, number 43 then, who is leading Class 6 at the moment. He's got a lead of 2.3 seconds over Adrian Williams. The car in front of him is that of Mark Colmer in the M1 class car, and through Cascades he makes up a lot of ground. He can pull alongside here, but Colmer should have a bit more straight line speed, and so that proves, Andy, as they head down Lakeside Straight.
Indeed, so Colmer manages to stay ahead. Colmer an M1 class car. Schweikart, as Ian quite rightly said, leads in class 6, but has already built up over 2 seconds worth of an advantage over Williams and Laramie, 9th and 10th, but 2nd and 3rd respectively in that class. There are then a couple of positions ahead of Andrew Pywell, who, remember, is recovering as well after his late race drama down at Cascades. And real drama, ironically, he sort of instigated that melee down at the Cascades corner and came out of it with no damage and a better position than the other two that got tangled up with him. So Pywell did lose a few spots. He was 12th at the start of the lap. I think he's still 12th position, trying to find a way past Clive Watson, as ahead of them, Laramie under threat from Adrian Williams. Williams peeks to the inside in the all-black 67 car, but not yet able to move through.
No, absolutely not. It's a good fight going on there. It's all black from one side, but all white more or less from the other. Very interesting. And they've been probably quite confusing for marshals as well. But anyway, so there is that Laramie battle. And coming through there is Andrew Pywell, number 17 as well. So he was in 12th place at the end of the first lap, so he's making up a little bit of ground. Andy Phillips, said we'd mention where he got to, he was 17th at the end of the first lap in the Treble 8 car, so he's made up about 3 places, I think.
Yeah, so both
from the start.
Sorry, and so yeah, both I forgot what I was going to say. Watson and Pywell both got past Williams on that lap.
Yes.
Some of that made sense. Anyway, that's what was happening. The 67 car was about to gain a place, then ended up losing a place, and 2 places, in fact, which drops him away now from Paul Laramie, with whom he was fighting for class position. Apologies.
That's all right. Andy Phillips into Old Hall Corner, just about to make another place up. I think that'll be on Gareth Thomas. I think he'll go 15th if he gets through there. This is that Mark Colmer Steve Schweikart battle, and again a sort of carbon copy of what happened a lap ago, in that Schweikart, through the twisty bits, is able to get alongside Mark Colmer. The class 6 car much more effective through Cascades, but out of the corner on acceleration, Colmer able to get away. And that's the fascinating thing about this. BMW Car Racing Championship. It is a single mark championship, but multi-model and with different classes as well, and cars will have their strengths and weaknesses in different parts of the circuit, and that will produce some quite intriguing class battles. So we've got Laramie and now Andrew Pywell here in the number 17 car. So where's Clive Watson gone in all of that? He is ahead of them. Yeah, he's up into what is now 9th position. So he is chasing after Schweikart, albeit from an M2 class car.
Yes, and then Pywell locking up, nearly getting into the back of Paul Laramie there, going down into his lops. So, yeah, it's all kicking off in this little group, as really it was in the race earlier on today. As they make their way towards Druids Corner, they're all sort of catching the next group as well, aren't they? Which is led by David Aspleton, who had that brilliant start, but remember, did start the race in 8th place, so his pace is perhaps not quite as good as those around him. This, by the way, has been an entertaining battle going on as well for 3rd position. A lap ago, Stuart Pywell got himself ahead of David Jefferson in the E92 M3, one of the newest cars on the grid, but that time around Jefferson gets back through again, so they've traded this 3rd place a couple of times in the last couple of laps.
Yeah, so very entertaining battle going on for the spectators trackside and on the stream here at BMW Live at Oulton Park today. Good scrap for 3rd position. Not quite the same right up at the front of the field, because there was 4.3 seconds between Paul Cook and Wayne Lewis, but all of a sudden there wasn't as the cars came through shot there. And we've got a change of lead. Wayne Lewis has got into the lead. So has Paul Cook had a moment? Has he got a problem? He was, as I say, 4.3 seconds to the good at the start of the lap. So we'll have to keep an eye on whether there's a problem with that car or whether he just made a mistake, possibly on the way into Shallows Corner, that sort of caused him to lose a lot of ground all of a sudden.
Well, his last lap was fine. He was only half a tenth off his fastest lap, which is the fastest lap of the race. So whatever happened after the beginning of the previous lap. So I think maybe a mistake, because he's sticking with Wayne Lewis now, isn't he? Maybe he just fancied giving everyone something to get excited about and drop back so that he could have a battle with Wayne. But this is going to certainly be a battle now then. Wayne Lewis out in front. Paul Cook wants to try and get that place back again as we head down toward Lodge Corner. Is he going to go to the inside? No, because Wayne Lewis covers the inside, then drifts back across the nose of his pursuer as they turn into the corner. And if Paul Cook is going to win this race, he's now going to have to try and find a way past car number 7.
Certainly is. So over the line they're going to come. And there's about a car length between them as they start that 15/100ths of a second. They turn now into Oulton Corner. Looks like Cook carries more momentum through there. Almost gets into the back of Wayne Lewis's car. Dropping down the avenue towards the left-hander at Cascades. We'll pick them up there hopefully in just a moment. And Paul Cook has gone back through. So he has made the most of that momentum. But Wayne Lewis now trying to fight back down Lakeside Straight. He's going to have the inside line for Island Bend. And again, at that part of the circuit, seemingly, Wayne Lewis has a little bit more strength than Paul Cook.
Surface flag out at Island Bend as well, so there's something on the track that shouldn't be that fluid or bodywork or debris. They're side by side again now at Shell. Paul Cook going the high line, trying to carry the momentum around the outside, which would give him the inside line for the entry to the Britain chicane, but he doesn't have an overlap, and so it is still going to be car 7 that stays in front. But Wayne Lewis hanging on by the skin of his teeth here. Paul Cook, for whatever reason, just can't get the job done and has not yet been able to reclaim that race lead that he lost mysteriously a lap ago.
Yep, so it's Wayne Lewis leading, Paul Cook in 2nd place. The last lap they were both in, well, Lewis was a 1:53, Paul Cook was a 1:57 on the previous lap, way off the pace that they have been doing. We have said there is flow down, but other drivers have done their personal best laps on the last lap, so I don't think we can put it down to that.
Except the area of the circuit where the flags are out is where Paul seemed to lose ground a lap ago, so it could be linked.
Yeah, it could be, but he had a specific moment in it rather than the cars more generally slowing down to be more cautious for a slippery surface, which sometimes you get when everyone's lap time just falls off the edge of a cliff because they know there's a hazard at a particular part of the circuit.
And that would also potentially explain why he bailed out of the move he was trying to make into Ireland a lap later. He'd been caught out there once already.
And thought, oh, hold on. I should learn from my mistakes here and not do that again. Anyway, they come through now with just about half of the race left to go. Wayne Lewis, number 7, leading, Paul Cook in 2nd place. David Aspleton has got a load of mates there, hasn't he? He's got Clive Watson behind him, and Steve Schweikart and Andy Pywell. So you've got the battle for the M2 class lead and the battle for the class 6 lead together. We're on board with Schweikart here as he heads up in towards Druids, the right-hander, the very heavily wooded part of the circuit here. On a wet day, it'll often be wet all day because it won't dry out for the surrounding trees. But today, no such issues there. Up ahead, you've got Clive Watson in the number 10 car, the compact 3-litre car, trying to find a way past Aspen in the Z3. But yet to make it work.
And don't forget, car 17, Andrew Pywell, also runs in Class 6, so this is a battle for class position between he and Schweikart as well. So you've got 20 and 10, Aspen and Watson battling for their class honours, and behind them, 43 and 17, Schweikart and Pywell also fighting for a class win, as are these two on screen now. Heading over Hilltop, it is still car 7 Wayne Lewis that leads the way overall, and therefore leads the M1 class, but by only a BMW length over Paul Cook in second place, as we now start coming across some of the slower runners.
So we've got a lead battle, I think, in all of the classes, because there's less than a second between the two in the Cup class as well, Gareth Thomas and Will Lake. So there's battles wherever you look in this BMW Car Club Racing Championship race. Here is the outright lead battle on screen now. It's up at Dredd's corner. Wayne Lewis, number 7. Paul Cook, number 26. Sean Foley is pit-bound by the looks of it in the number 71 car, so I think he'll be well out of the way by the time the leaders arrive there. Paul Cook in the number 26 car has a look up the inside of Wayne Lewis into Lodge corner, and this time he's able to go through. So Paul Cook gets back into the lead of the race. Has Wayne Lewis got an answer this time? 8 3/4 minutes left to go.
Up towards Old Hall corner he goes, looks from the outside to the inside, tries to sell the dummy. Is he going to commit to the manoeuvre? Oh no, just a bit too far back, and now Cook will have a lot more momentum on corner exit, kicks the tail out in spectacular style, and tries now to build his advantage. So Paul Cook back to the lead of the race with 8 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Car number 26, as was the case for the entirety of race number 1, is out in the win. Now what's going on further back? That was Clive Watson going through. He has got Stephen Schweikart behind him, and there is big damage to David Aspden. I wondered where the Z3 had gone. The front of the car is hanging off. The exhaust is rattling around as well. He's been off the road, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's collided with, but it may have been circuit furniture rather than another car. I'll have to see if there's any sort of matching damage anywhere else, but there's sort of metalwork dragging underneath the car there as well. And that's Andrew Pywell. Now, is that connected? Is there some damage to the left side of his car? You've got some tyres being fouled by the bodywork, which is stoved in on the left-hand wing of the car. And are those two things connected, we wonder?
Well, they had been running together, hadn't they, at the time. Pywell had been behind Aspden in the fight for 8th position, so I wonder if maybe that does suggest there'd been contact. There was debris, I think, on the road down at Hislops and Knickerbrook, which may be linked as the overall race leaders head over Clay Hill towards Druids Corner. Paul Cook still in front of Wayne Lewis by still only a narrow margin, though. He can't drop Wayne Lewis, can he? Got about a third of the race to go, and it's still nose to tail for the lead.
Yeah, Aspden and Andrew Pywell have both made their way into the pit lane. Leaders, though, with 7 minutes to go, heading up towards Lodge Corner once again. This is where Paul Cook took the lead a lap ago, but he's not been able to make the break from Wayne Lewis here. Got more traffic to deal with ahead of them. Up to the line they come. They're probably going to get, I would say, 5 more laps, maybe 4 more laps out of this one. Lewis to the inside as they go into Old Hall Corner. A little bit too far back to make that work, probably. Yeah, I think so, although Cook then gets it sideways on the way out of the corner, so that changes the complexion of things, although he does have the inside line. But no, I think at Denton's we have had a change. No, we've not had a change. It's Paul Cook that's held on from Wayne Lewis. Through Cascades they go, but it's a pretty evenly matched battle here between Paul Cook, number 26, Wayne Lewis, number 7, that's now heading down Lakeside Straight. Yeah,
I don't know what's going on with Paul Cook in this race, but I'm glad it is, because it's giving us a fantastic battle between the two of them. Paul Cook and Wayne Lewis, inseparable so far in this race. They arrive at the Shell hairpin, actually with a bit of margin between them, but Cook goes wide up the hill. He can't get the car turned in. Then he's got oversteer on corner exit, and Wayne Lewis has gone back through again. Wayne Lewis back to the lead. Can Cook fight back at Britain's? No, he can't. And so that is about the 4th or 5th lead change between these two, and it's Wayne Lewis back to the front of the field. A mistake from Cook at the hairpin again.
Yeah, and you wouldn't bank on there being no more lead changes in this race with still more than 5 minutes to go. It's Paul Cook, number 26, leading, 7 Wayne Lewis in second, still David Jefferson, treble 6 third, 76 Stuart Pywell 4th, 37 Cavan Granger 5th, and Mark Coleman 6th in number 66. Clive Watson leading in Class M2, Steve Schweikart leading in Class 6, and there was his close rival in Class 6 as well. That's the 17 car of Andrew Pywell. And with that heavy damage to the side of the car, and also, of course, to the front end of the David Appleton Z3 as well. So it's a shame to see damage to cars, especially at a meeting like this, and hopefully that can all be fixed before too much longer. Meanwhile, Wayne Lewis still ahead of Paul Cook with 5 minutes of the race left.
Yeah, where does Paul Cook now try and make his latest attack for the race lead? Lewis confirmed once more as the race leader then. Into Old Hall corner they go. Cook closes right in, almost into the back of him as they turn into Old Hall. Almost got too close there. Cook seems a lot more confident under braking, doesn't he? Carries more speed into the corners, but then maybe his car isn't handling quite as well on corner exit. Maybe those rear tyres are starting to get a little bit hot on the number 26 car. 3/10 between them at the line. Then they're a further 5 seconds clear of David Jefferson, who's really lonely in third. He's got about 13 seconds in hand over Stuart Pywell, who sits in 4th position. It's all about the battle for the race lead then as they head towards the top end of the circuit. With 4¼ minutes to go, though, there's likely to be more traffic. There could be more mistakes from Wayne Lewis and Paul Cook. This race ain't over yet.
And neither is this. This is the Cup class battle we're watching now. Will Lake it was that got himself ahead of Gareth Thomas, so that had changed since the start of the lap. But we're back briefly with the leaders who have flipped around. So Paul Cook from Wayne Lewis. They're going past a slower car there and down towards Hislops. I think Wayne Lewis was thinking about having another look there. That's the Cup class battle going through at Druids, and here's the overall battle, and the overall battle will catch that Cup class battle, I think, before the end of the race.
And possibly quite close to the end of the race. I think that could be interesting, couldn't it? Here they go to Lodge corner, a big lunge up the inside. Is that going to work? No, there's contact. Lake is sideways. Thomas gets into him again on corner exit. Very touchy-feely stuff, but somehow no change of position.
No, so it is still Will Lake, number 4, Gareth Thomas, number 68 there, 12th and 13th overall. They're disputing the Cup class lead. And yeah, a little bit too close for comfort there through Lodge corner that time. Gareth Thomas, of course, it was the race 1 winner, and now Paul Cook has a bit more daylight between himself and Wayne Lewis as they come through to start the penultimate lap of the race.
Yes, they do, through Old Hall corner then, an enormous 6/10 of a second between them, but that is about the biggest lead really that Cook has had for some time. Into the barriers, and that is
Gareth Thomas, the 68 car.
Exeter Cascades, isn't it? That was the battle that we had been following. It was getting a bit rough, and unfortunately he has found the scenery, and that will have done a lot of damage to the front of that car.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. He was doing battle obviously with the number 4 car, so there's yellow flags then at that part of the circuit, which is where Paul Cook and Wayne Lewis have just gone through, as back markers also in that part of the circuit, so there's something else to consider. So we go to the end of the race, and now Paul Cook's gone wide at Shellow's corner, and Wayne Lewis is going to get back through. This is a very odd race, Andy McEwen. Wayne Lewis retakes the lead with 2 minutes to go.
He's consistent with his mistakes, at least. That's the 3rd time he's got the hairpin wrong, Paul Cook, and the 3rd time that it's cost him the race lead. He's now got half a lap left to try and get it back, but conversely, he has been strong in the final sector, so Paul Cook may be saving this up for the last corner. It wouldn't be a race meeting at Oulton Park if we didn't have a last lap Lodge corner decider, and that may be what we're heading for, albeit with that car off at Cascades, are we going to see the flag come out a lap early? That could really scupper Paul Cook's plans if that happens.
Up Clay Hill under the pedestrian footbridge they go for the 10th time in this race. 77 it is, Wayne Lewis, 26 Paul Cook. Now through Druids corner they go, and onto the straight under the vehicle bridge and back round to complete another lap. Gareth Thomas out of his car, which is good to see. Paul Cook was mounting attack on the left, right, he's mounting attack on the left. He's got all the way around the outside of Wayne Lewis right now at Lodge corner and retaken the lead. So up the deer leap they're going to come. Are we going to get a checkered flag? Yes, we are! And right at the death, Paul Cook wins it with that move around the outside of Wayne Lewis at Lodge corner. It's come out a lap early because of that instant at the exit of Cascades, which fortunately Gareth Thomas out of his car from. So Cook is from Lewis. David Jefferson has come across the line now in 3rd position. 4th place is going to be Stuart Pywell. He's just across the line now in the number 76 car. 5th, I think, should be Cavan Granger, Mark Colmer 6th. And then, just having a look, I don't think there's any sort of particular drama in the classes anymore, because we've sort of the classes battles have been split up. In the M2, it's down to Clive Watson to win that, as we're watching Stephen Kane, number 50, go through in his Cup class car. He's going to take the checkered flag and finish in, I think, about 16th position. But yes, Class M2 is going to go the way of Watson. Class 6 the way of Stephen Schreikart. He had about 3 seconds in hand over Paul Laramie. There's the man who's going to become the M2 class winner, and there's the man who's going to become the Class 6 winner. Mark Colmer goes across the line, number 66 in 6th position. There's Clive Watson winning Class M2 in 7th place overall. And here's Steve Schreikart up over the crest at Deer Leap for the final time. And he takes the checkered flag. There he goes to seal another class win in Class 6 ahead of Paul Laramie and Adrian Williams. So that's your top 3 in Class 6. Cup class yet to be completed by William Lake. He's yet to come through, I don't think. So we'll get confirmation of that when he does. But he's not shown us having seen the checkered flag as yet, although having said that, neither of the first 2 drivers. So possibly just a slight glitch on the timing there. But an entertaining race that was. An odd race between Paul Cook and Wayne Lewis, but it kept us entertained, and I hope it kept everyone trackside and watching on the live stream entertained as well.
I think it probably did, yeah. Paul Cook made hard work of that for himself, I would say, and did get the better of Wayne Lewis, but yeah, Wayne on numerous occasions led the race and might be a tad frustrated not to have won it, you suspect. But anyway, Paul Cook able to bounce back with a terrifically brave move around the outside on the brakes into Lodge Corner. I said earlier on that he was more confident under braking, and he demonstrated that brilliantly on the final corner of what became the final lap. He wouldn't have known it was the final lap, I suppose, but it was, and the checkered flag waved for Paul Cook. It
did indeed at the end of 10 laps of racing. And number 26 won by 0.197 seconds. The 2 E46 M3s of 26 Paul Cook and 7 Wayne Lewis first and second. Treble 6 David Jefferson and the E92 M3 was third. 76 Stuart Pywell on the 346 was fourth. But it was 37 Cavan Granger and 66 Mark Colmer rounding out the top 6. Number 10 Clive Watson finished in 7th place, but more importantly took the M2 class win, while in 8th place number 43 Steve Schreikart won Class 6 once again, so second win of the day. Paul Laramie, number 31, was 9th, and Adrian Williams, number 67, was 10th. He wraps up the podium in Class 6, and Andrew Phillips on the back of the grid to 11th place in Treble 8. Will Lake, after the late demise of Gareth Thomas, took 12th place in car number 4 and the Cup class win ahead of Matt Smith in the Z3, Sam Walton in another of the Cup class cars, and Jason Rees, number 9 it was, that finished third within that class ahead of Steve Clay and Paul Neville, and the rest of the drivers unfortunately failed to make it to the end of the race. So that's all the BMW Car Club racing action for this weekend. But we've still got one more BMW race to come before the end of the day. That's the ultimate BMW race, the 40-minute race, which features a pit stop as well. So if you're a BMW fan, don't head home just yet. There's still some more BMW racing for you. We've got a couple more races to go before that, though, here at Oulton Park, the historic 754-minute series and the Armed Forces Race Challenge as well. Here's the view of the driver on his slowing down lap, heading into Parc Fermé. Number 43, Steve Schreikart, and he's going to be signalled straight through, by the looks of it, straight through Parc Fermé, so not being stopped there on this occasion, and back into the paddock he will go at the end of that race. So as I say, 2 more races to go, then the Ultimate BMWs to round out proceedings here today at Oulton Park. There's also a BMW Car Club parade at the end of the day after racing has finished as well. So don't forget, there's more racing action here at Oulton Park next weekend as well, when it's the TCR UK, so the BRSEC organised race meeting next weekend. Then in 3 weeks' time, it's the Quick Fit British Touring Car Championship, so make sure you get your tickets for that. That's here on the 22nd and 23rd of June. There's then the Supercar Pageant featuring the GT Cup Championship on the end of June, Saturday the 29th of June. Get all the information about all of the forthcoming events here at Oulton Park on the Oulton Park website. It's always advantageous to buy your tickets in advance as well via the website oultonpark.co.uk. And you can find out where the 750 Motor Club is going. That's by heading to the 750 Motor Club website as well, 750mc.co.uk. So we are ready now to head down to Parc Fermé, and once again we've got Kieran Mogg there.
Yes, there was a lot that happened in that race, and one of the absolute stars of the show, Paul Cook. What a phenomenal battle that was between you and Wayne. How was it out there?
I seemed to have a great start off the line again, and then I seemed to get a big gap, and then sort of 3 or 4 laps into the race, I kept on over braking into Shao and a couple of other corners, and yeah, Wayne just closed the gap, and we had a bit of fun.
Managed to make that last lap dive around the outside as well.
No, I didn't realise it was going to be the last lap. But yeah, I made it a little bit earlier.
Well, pole position and 2 wins. It's got to be good.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. The lap times weren't great today, but you know, we've had some fun, so that's the main thing.
Absolutely. Congratulations then.
Thank you.
Cheers, thank you. And we'll go on to Clive Watson. Clive, class winner. Fantastic job, well done as well.
Thank you.
How was it out there?
It was hot and a good experience. Yeah, loved it. Yeah.
How have you found the track evolving from earlier and now to now? Now I can't even speak. From earlier to now.
Well, it's just about the same, I'd have said, but yeah, you know, I just had it go. It's all good.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, congratulations then.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers, thank you. And we'll move on to William Lake, our class winner here. William, can we just jump in a second?
Yeah.
Congratulations, obviously right in the mix out there.
Thank you very
how
much.
was it?
Lots going on. I started off behind Gareth, and then we had a bit of a coming together. I hope he's okay. He went off in the grass, but really tough race. It's a very challenging circuit. I haven't quite got the hand of it yet, but it was really good. Lots of fun.
And how you find the competition out there?
Tough. There's some people from Class 6 and even M2 who at the start are right in the mix, either behind or in front of us. So it's chaotic the first few laps. As last race, someone came off 5th corner on the first lap. So competition is good. Yeah, there's lots to race for.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations. Anybody you'd like to thank for this?
Anyone I'd like to thank? Oof. My family, my girlfriend, and all my friends, and Neil, of course, who puts the car where it is and does all the hard work. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations then.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, thank you. We'll go to a quick break and we're going to view with Will Beaumont, and then coming up next is the handicap race for the 750 historic category.